Okay, this is my speaker competency analysis. My speaker is William McRaven. He was a Navy Admiral, and he was in charge of like all the Navy SEALs on the West Coast. He delivered his speech to the graduating class of Texas in 2014 was the year. The purpose of the speech was to motivate the class to use their skills that they have from the school to take it out into the real world and be successful on their own. The most notable line from the speech is it's "Make Your Bed," and then he had a book that he wrote after he gave the speech, also called "Make Your Bed," and it kind of went in depth about what the speech is about. The first speaking competency was useful topic. The speaker shows this by choosing a topic that would be impactful to the crowd, which was like giving them life lessons that they could take out into the real world. Two things that show this when he was giving the speech was when he gives the importance of doing little things right and how you can't do big things right if you can't do the little things right. And then there's a part where he says, "Don't ever ring the bell," which at SEAL training, if you want to quit, you have to ring the bell. So it just means never quit.
Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell.
He talks really slow. So
A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell.
So the point of that was just he kind of revisits a lot of his other things that he says earlier in the speech and then says never quit. His second speaking competency was his engaging introduction. He basically starts off by like going back to when he was graduating from the University of Texas and saying kind of where he was. It kind of puts them in his shoes, but they're kind of all in the same situation. So it helps set up what he wants them to take away from his speech. Didn't play.
Commissioned in the Navy that day. But of all the things I remember, I don't have a clue who the commencement speaker was, and I certainly don't remember anything they said. So acknowledging that fact, if I can't make this commencement speech memorable, I will at least try to make it short. So the university slogan is, "What starts here changes the world." Well, I've got to admit, I kind of like it. What starts here changes the world. Tonight there are almost 8,000 students, or there are more than 8,000 students graduated from UT. So that great paragon of analytical rigor, Ask.com,
It's supposed to be
says
done.
that the average...
I don't know why I didn't stop. Okay. So the point was like he understands they don't want to like be sitting around listening to him, but he's gonna try to make it quick and concise so they all get the message. For corresponding nonverbals, he addresses the crowd by looking up, and he gives time in between like messages he delivers or kind of like jokes to let the crowd react to it and process what he's saying instead of just running on quickly to the next thing. He pauses and looks up at the crowd. Did it again.
It is indeed an honor for me to be here tonight. It's been almost 37 years to the day that I graduated from UT. I remember a lot of things about that day. I remember I had a throbbing headache from a party the night before.
So that was like the pause when he lets the crowd react to what he said. He doesn't use any visual aids, but I don't think it's necessary. He could have put some photos of buds or like the SEAL training that he did. But I don't think it'd be effective because the point of his speech is not to talk about what he did to train to become a Navy SEAL. It's about like the takeaways that he had from it. It's not really what he did, it's what he learned from it. The last speaking competency was closure and conclusion. And he shows the competency of closure because he revisits the main points of the speech and then addresses again the takeaway that he wants. I said it's effective because part of the issue with oral communication is the retention. So if you wanted them to like take away like truly a few things, that you'd have to revisit it at the end and leave them with that note. I also skipped the clip when I clicked down.
Ring the bell. To the class of 2014, you are moments away from graduating. Moments away from beginning your journey through life. Moments away from starting to change the world for the better. It will not be easy, but you are the class of 2014, the class that can affect the lives of 800 million people in the next century. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much. Hug 'em horns.
So, in conclusion, I thought he was a very effective speaker because he delivered in all the competencies besides visual aids, which wasn't really necessary. And some of the moments that like kind of highlight his effective speech were like when he engages the audience and gives them like his situation when he graduated and kind of sets the mood as like lighthearted. He uses universal messages that the audience can use later on. Everybody can use them. He speaks slowly so everybody can process what he's trying to tell them. And he revisits the main points in his conclusion.
Focus.
Great job, Ben. Thank you.